Hey. So, I want to go ahead and we're gonna get started on this, like, really right away. Sorry if everything seems so scuffed to hell, but let's go ahead and get started. Oh, and I'm actually gonna have the feet cam on for this time. So, we're just gonna scoot that over here. Alright, so, one thing I want to go ahead and get started with, literally right away. Oops. No need to worry about that. Discard. And then we'll move this out of the way. Yes, that was actually a voice changer. Sorry about that. Let me turn myself up a little. This, and this. So let's go ahead and get started. So, obviously, let me close this out. We're gonna get a little bit too far ahead of ourselves here. Anyways, I'm gonna close this out for now. So, let's go ahead and get started, shall we? As you lots know by now, TwitchCon has happened, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and the first day, it went to hell, for sure, because apparently Twitch doesn't even know how to run their own fucking convention, which is kind of funny, which is kind of sad and funny in a way, because, you know, they've been doing this for quite a while. And for them to mess up this royally is honestly pretty dumb in my opinion. In fact, I personally think this is that Twitch overall is very incompetent, and it's kind of funny because I am actually streaming on the platform right now, basically shitting on them. Well, I'm clearly shitting on them because, you know, I'm doing a lot of things that clearly it's breaking the rules, terms of service, for what they would see in for me as a VTuber. But let's get to the point, shall we? So, I'm gonna go ahead and move myself back down. There we go. And let's turn this bitch on. So what you're seeing here is obviously Emir's response, but to start, we're gonna start right here at where it all happened. So, Bacon Crumbs, shout out to him, was at TwitchCon and has posted this saying, "So some freak just assaulted Emir at TwitchCon. This behavior is fucking disgusting. I'm amazed that she still came back to finish the meet and greet line. Honestly, she deserved the utmost of respect, but this has to stop." And obviously, what you're seeing here. Let me turn this down. So what you're seeing right here is Emir getting caught. Is basically Emir getting herself a little bit too close. Getting, so to say, that this dude right here, whoever the fuck this is, getting, so to say, a little touchy. And one thing that really bothered me to hell and back is that nobody in here has done anything about it. And if it was me and I see this kind of oh, looks like it didn't show the thing. Hold on, let me start this whole over again. There we go. So, anyways, so what you see right here is some dude getting too close to Emiru, which obviously makes her uncomfortable, and the fact that nobody ever seems to notice or do anything about it, which is kind of crazy if you think about it, is a little bit weird in my opinion. Especially if it was me and I see this, I'd be like, hey, back the fuck off, bro. Back the fuck off, bro. That's no fucking chill there. You have literally no fucking chill, and you need to fucking cool your loser ass dick. But okay, so let's keep going. And obviously, security stepped in. Security stepped in here, and along with her mansion right there. I'm gonna go ahead and go to full screen. There's Emiru's security guard, and there's and there's her manager right there, and there's this one guy that's just stands there looking so confused, and everyone looking around just like, what? This dude, and the dude, and her security guard, God bless him, pushed the dude, and he nearly tripped over and fell. Which I wish he actually did tripped over and fell, because that would have been fucking funnier. But I digress, of course. So what you're gonna see here is that obviously he pulled. So one thing I noticed when I was looking at this clip several times is that you can see he got something in his hand. I am not sure what that is, and I don't think I want. Nobody seems to know what it is. Some people are saying it's one of those pens. And let me increase the volume at this bit here. So let me go ahead and check the sound. Everything is still good. And let me go ahead and turn down this as well before we go and get started. So we're gonna go ahead and start around here. Sound is up.
Whoa.
You hear that click, right?
Whoa.
So
Whoa.
So you hear that click. That click, to me, it's hard to say. Oh, hey. So that click to me, it's hard to say for certain what it is, but that click right before Bacon said whoa, that usually that to me, from my experience, sounds either like sounds like a pen, or worst case scenario, some kind of pocket knife. And yeah, and if it is a pocket knife, presuming it is, and how that managed to get past security of all things, it's kind of makes me wonder how competent their security is, and it makes me wonder who let this motherfucker pass. Now, if it is a pen, it still is dangerous either way, with the way this dimwit this moron right here is holding. So let me go ahead and go around here. So let me go around here, and you can see it right here, like the little object. Let me go ahead and see if I can magnify this. So you see, so around here, you can see some kind of object, like right there. Now presuming it is a pen, which kind of looks like it, the way he holds it is kind of weird. And it makes me wonder why he would hold a pen like that, and why he would have a pen in the first place. Let alone why he even tried to go for a hug in the first place. Now, there are people. His mannerisms also makes me think it was some sort of weapon. If he wanted to use it as one. Exactly. That's the thing I wanted to point out. It's the way it's not only that we don't know what the fuck that is, but the way he holds it is suggesting that yes, it could potentially be he was probably trying to use it as a fucking weapon. And if he is using it as a weapon, then I have a lot of reasons to believe that Twitch is not doing their fucking job. That Twitch, when it comes to security, is not doing their fucking job. And presuming, like I said, presuming that it is a knife, because let me tell you guys something here, and and this is very important for anyone to understand. We humans, literally all of us humans, are literally programmed in our fucking mind to assume, to think of have this thing called negative bias, where where negative shit is going to be the first thing we think of, and the first thing we're going to be drawn into, and the first thing you will think of. You cannot try to think of any good things about it. You cannot be optimistic about it, because guess what? The first thing that's going to happen to you is that when your negative bias is going to come in first. And what is going to happen inside your negative bias? You're going to assume the worst things. For example, this fucking case, right? You're going to assume that, hey, this motherfucker could be holding something. It's holding something. I don't know what the fuck that is, but I think that could probably be that could be a fucking knife, right? And you could be thinking, oh, and someone could be thinking, oh, that can't be a fucking knife, right? Well, we don't know that. Well, that's the problem. We don't fucking know if it's a knife. Also, welcome 96 or directed to chat on Twitch. We don't know if that's a knife for sure. And if it's a pen, why is he holding it like that? Because if you're holding it like that, it's safe to assume that you're gonna probably use it as a weapon, because a lot of items nowadays can be used as a weapon with enough force. Anyways, I digress. But like I said, and this dude right here, he gets pulled to the side, obviously. And like I said, what bothers me a lot, and what really bothers me, and I never understand this sort of as a rule, is why in the sweet Jesus of fuck did nobody in the camera view did anything about it? This dude right here, I'm not trying to throw shade at him, and obviously I'm not, because I don't know, I'm not trying to throw shade at him because I kind of understand the laws and shit, right? Because of that negative bias, we survive and become the most. It's a primitive defense mechanism. Exactly. It's what your negative bias is what's going to be the first thing you think of. You're going to assume the worst, and optimism is going to be tossed aside. Also, you guys like the feed cam? Thank you. I'm sorry. That's all. This is all on purpose. Anyways, so one thing that, like I said, what bothers me is that some of these guys, and I'm not trying to point the fingers, and I'm not trying to attack them or anything. I'm just pointing out something that I feel should have been something that can be done, right? So what I'm saying is some of these guys could have just like gone in and just break the dude away, just like pull the dude back. I understand now, I understand the case of, you can't, you can't get your hand, you can't do that because you're gonna potentially escalate the situation and you could get in trouble and you could be charged for it. I understand that. I really do. Because, yes, I understand that you don't want a situation that obviously no situation should have to escalate too much, and things need to be handled the way it needs to be. And I understand that there is a law that says you cannot use the same force, that is the same, that you cannot use that you can't use unnecessary force, that you only need to use enough force to de-escalate the situation. I understand that, and I truly get it, because it's to prevent, because obviously you don't want that shit to because you don't want this shit to go too far to the point where someone's going to probably jam something into your stomach. I get it. But my issue is that at this point, some of them can actually just pull the dude away and restrain him. If security was lax, if security was given the option, if Emir's security was given the option, clearly he could just hold the guy down. He could just restrain the guy, hold the guy down on the damn floor until the fucking cops get around. But I guess that never happened because they tried to walk them away, and obviously Emiru just stepped out to the back. And I will give credit to Emiru for. So, hold on, I got chat here. The legal side of these situations, the reason people have bodyguards. They know how to protect someone and prevent these types of situations. Yes, that is true. And I don't. A person without that training might fuck up and end up in a giant legal mess. I understand that. I truly do. And I understand that you can't get involved because you don't want to get into like some sort of legal bullshit, all mumble jumble. I do get that. I really do. But I'm saying that they could have just been able to to separate the guy when it happened, or actually just step in and be like, hey, what the hell are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? Something like that before it happens, or or when it happens, you're gonna be like, what the fuck? Get the fuck off. Something like that, you know. That's just my personal thoughts, of course. But, well, of course, And when this happened, obviously everyone lost their shit. Literally lost a lot of their shit, including me. And let me go ahead and pull up something I actually responded not long ago. Also, yes, so just so you guys know, I am streaming this on Twitter as well. So if you guys are on Twitter, you can follow me. You can follow me on Twitter. I do post way too often there. And we'll get to some of the extra stuff here too. I can promise that. So let's get to the main post in question. Where is it? Dokadeska? Not that. And certainly not that. And certainly not that. And here. So, as I mentioned earlier, I did note this, and and I already said the whole thing on Twitter, and I already said the whole thing literally like seconds ago, where he did where he was holding something there. One thing I wanted to go ahead and also point out is this right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and lower the volume.
It was pretty cool though.
And you did see him earlier, right? Like, there's the dude right there. He still has his badge on, and he's walking freely. Now, it's hard to say when this happened. It's hard to have an estimate at the time. Around any time, but one thing I know, but you'll notice that he's walking very freely, and you can see him just moving very quick. You can see him moving very quick right here, and you can see he still has his badge. Now, I don't have an estimate. Now, obviously, there's no there's no sense of time, obviously. This was posted at the time. This was posted at around, say, 2:21 on October 18th, basically a day ago. And whether this happened on the day of, and I would assume this happened on the day of, and in fact, you can see, and
How much time, actually?
And if you look right here, you can see the dude right there at the meet. You can see the dude right there, and I would assume this section is the meet and greet. Now, I don't have any, like I said, I don't have any idea. Now, I don't have any idea whether this happened before. Now, whether these clips are before or after the incident. But if it is after the incident, this is very much on Twitch's hands. And right here, we can say for certain that this is before. And I would assume that this would be before it happened. So this means that Twitch knew some. This means that, in my perspective, no one ever seen. Security did not even do anything, and I don't know how this managed to get past security. Hell, I would like to assume. Hell, my best assumption is that security is shit. And Twitch should have been able to, and Twitch should have put like better security on hand, honestly, because this should not happen at all. No one should be able to get past security, and if anyone get past security, that's going to cause a lot of problems, which led to where we are now. Now, let's get to what Twitch has to say, right? Obviously, when this happened, they made a response. Right? Let's dissect this bitch, shall we? So, okay, that's too far. I'm sorry. All right, so right here, the safety and security of those attending TwitchCon is our highest priority. The behavior displayed by the individual involved in the incident yesterday involving a high-profile streamer, you could. First of all, Twitch. They gave him a pat on the head and probably told him to never do it again, probably. That's gonna be so stupid. Alright, first of all, Twitch. A high profile streamer. You could have just pointed her out right then and there. I'm saying it right the fuck now. You could have just said Emiru right the fuck there, and I would have been like, and that would have been a little bit result, and that would have been a little bit fine. But no, you just simply said, it's a high profile streamer, as if we don't fucking know what the fuck's going on. Really? We are not that, nobody's that dumb, first of all. And the dumbass CEO, we'll get to that part soon, I promise. I want to fucking talk about that. I really want to fucking talk about that, but we gotta take our time, and we gotta go through this, obviously. Was completely unacceptable and deeply unsettling. Upsetting. Do you know what else is completely unacceptable and deeply upsetting, Twitch? Your stupid ass letting the dude through. Your little stupid ass just letting the dude through and going up to a mirror and doing something that could be fucking uncomfortable. That is deeply concerning and upsetting. And the fact that that happened on the first day, mind you, on the first day the doors opened, when the doors first opened, and yet that happened. Do you want to know what that fucking tells me? And I want to remind you that I haven't been to a convention in years. I've been to a few conventions from the past years back. I've been to Acon. I've been to Anime Fest. I've been to Nishi Fest. I've been to Nishi Fest, and I've been to WeebCon. I've been to a lot of conventions, and those conventions alone, and I know the shit that do happen in there. People are fucking insane. Because on Saturday, and I've seen what happens through other cosplayer stories, right? People will talk about these kinds of things. And you know why these are important, why people bring them up? It's because somebody in the organization is not doing their fucking job and not noticing these things ahead of time. So shit that happens, like someone getting harassed, some kind of physical altercation happens. Hell, even people getting fucking drugged at a convention, whether they're gonna get their drinks spiked whether they're gonna get their drinks spiked somehow because somebody apparently forgot to include caps. You get the whole idea. I've been to conventions. It happens. I understand. However, the fact that someone, whether we don't know if they're like a Twitch staff member, if they're part of Twitch, or they're just like some random ass person, I don't know who they are, and my only assumption is this could be just some kind of fucking crazy ass person. And the fact that they were able to get past security and just walk straight up to Emiru and do that. Do you know what that tells me? What that tells me is that apparently somebody over at Twitch as an organization, when they set up this convention, did not take into consideration that, I don't know, shit like this was going to happen. Shit like this was and likely will happen. Because you can go to any convention in the world. Any convention, any anime conventions, any gaming conventions, all that fun, all that shit. And guess what? This shit can and still will happen even when you tighten up security, because I understand it's not perfect, and there's a lot of shit that can and will happen. But the fact that that this very thing happened, and it's clearly shaken up one of the biggest streamers on your fucking platform, and as a reminder, tells me that you clearly did not consider this. that you clearly did not consider all the options. You did not expect the unexpected. You did not expect the worst case scenario. Allah, I don't have to be like some mastermind organizer for a convention. I don't have to be that because I'm not one. But I do know that when you're hosting a big convention like this, and when you are going to do this kind of shit, when you are going to be in a convention, when you are hosting a convention, an event where you're gonna have attendees, you're gonna have big name streamers coming to you're gonna have streamers, VTubers, all sorts of content creators, and all sorts of viewers of all kinds coming and attending to that event. You better be ready because you better be ready to expect the worst out of some of the people that do attend your fucking convention because shit will happen. Shit can likely happen. And if you are not prepared for the worst case scenario, like what happened, then it clearly tells me that you did not consider that you did not consider that at all. And it's very telling to me that you did not, and it's very apparent to me that you did not notice that if this did not get into your head, and this was not mentioned the first time, the fucking first time, that tells me way too much about about the Twitch as a company. You clearly did not consider everything when you made months, months before the doors even fucking opened, before you even announced it. That tells me that you did not consider that you did not consider the worst. And what I will assume is that it's not gonna be that bad. We have enough. We're gonna be fine. It's not like shit's gonna happen. No, clearly it did happen. It clearly did. And the fact that you're going in this response, this same response, in line with existing TwitchCon security protocols, law enforcement and event security were on site and responded to the incident, which I would imagine they could have. But here's the thing, everything I saw on Twitter's apparently, security did shit about it. They let that dude go and just walk freely. And hell, there was even a point where I'm gonna bring this right the fuck up right now. And I'm sorry if I'm stumbling on my words. This is not the first time not the first time I'm gonna be yapping and bitching like this. Where I'm literally not even following a fucking script. Because this is literally all just on the dot right here. So, let me scroll and try to find it, right? I probably have not been able to find it, because let's be real, I probably did not put my response in. Let's see. Okay, it looks like I did not. Yeah, it looks like I did not. Okay. Alright, so we're just gonna So, there was a clip where apparently the dude had walked out with his badge still in hand, with his badge still on his neck. You know what that tells? That basically tells me that the security for TwitchCon did not do their fucking job, right? So obviously his badge was not taken away. His badge was clearly not taken away. And one thing that I immediately noticed in responding to we're on site and responding to the incident, which I want you to understand something here, Twitch. I want you to fucking understand something here, Twitch. We're in the age of the digital era. We're in the digital era. And I want you to understand that people are not that stupid. People can and will record things. What they see, chances are it may be recorded. And so, what I'm saying here is, if you are telling me right here that event security were on site and responded to the incident, somebody on the internet who also happened to attend the event would have caught this motherfucker, would have saw this motherfucker be caught by by your security and by law enforcement, right? And they would have been in cuffs and someone would have been recording it, right? That's the thing. People record things. People can and will record things. That's the digital era, because people will want to see what's going on and will want to show it, put it on the internet for the public to see, right? So why is there no so if that's the case, why was there no video that showed your security getting involved and actually apprehending and actually keeping the guy in place? Why was there? Why? Or were they not allowed to record that? But if they were not allowed to record it, then I would love to know why. Because this kind of thing, because people can and record things, and this kind of recording and that kind of recording is not out of the ordinary, is not something that's just out of the ordinary. It happens. People do record people getting arrested. People do record the cops getting into action. All that shit. It's on the internet and always will be on. People will record it and put it on the internet. So why is that? So why did people found videos of the dude just walking away with his badge on? I want to know why. Because because people live on the internet long enough, they will record things that are seen. They will put it out to the public. People will put it out to the public because it happened. Because it's the moment that happens, and people will want to see it, and many people will see it. So why was there nothing like that? I'm not saying I'm not saying that, hey, there should be a recording. What I am saying is, if it did happen, someone would have caught it. So there would have been witnesses. There would have been witnesses. There would have been possibly a recording, or hell, even a fucking tweet, or hell, a tweet. People see things and they will talk about things on the internet. So why was there nothing like that of the sort? Alright. So, and then they responded with this. They also mentioned this. We immediately blocked this individual from returning to the TwitchCon premises, and they are banned indefinitely from Twitch, both online and in-person events. We are coordinating with the impacted creators team, and for our standard protocol, continue to cooperate with any law enforcement investigations. Twitch, let me tell you something here. I'm going to ask you one question. TwitchCon is your convention, right? If so, obviously, yes, it is your convention. So, theoretically, it happened on your premise. Your premise, aka Twitch's premise, right? So, and if it's on your premise, then clearly you have a legal obligation to protect the people that do enter into your premise, to protect the people that are that clearly entered into your premise, right? Streamers, viewers, basically any and all attendees, guests, all that shit, staff, all that, you have a legal obligation to protect them, right? On your grounds, your premise, right? So why didn't you, if so, why didn't you press charges on him, on that person, right? Why didn't you press charges? I understand that that should be Emmy's thing, that Emmy should be pressing charges herself, but it happened on your ground. It happened on your premise. You have the same right to to press charges, to work with Emmy and press charges. Obviously, talk to her and be like, hey, this shit is, hey, I understand, and we're doing everything we can to ensure the guy is not going, that this won't happen again, right? And they also have an obligation, to get them out, to, protect the people that are involved. And clearly, since it's on their grounds, they can press charges on your, and they can even press charges even on your behalf when you get them the okay. So why didn't you press charges? Why did you not press any charges against them? Hell, why did we not see any police get involved? Why did the guy just walk away like that? And then you just said, oh, he's just gonna be banned. He's just gonna be removed off the platform in an in-person event. No. That shit's assault. That's actually sexual assault. Because it was non-consensual touch. Right? That's non-consensual touch. It falls under sexual assault. Not sure about pressing charges, but they should have definitely handed him over to the police because of the assault. Yeah. But it's still on there. But to me, it's like, it's on their premise, and I think they should have been able to hand him over to the police for assault, and obviously, Emmy can press charge. So, but even then, I still think that Twitch can press charge because it happened on their premise. And they have and they have legal, and I think they have an obligation to protect their guests and their attendees, in my opinion, anyways. So we have increased, and then here they said we have increased security at the meet and greet attendee check-in point, and we'll have additional security personnel surrounding participating streamers. If you are RSVP'd for a meet and greet, please note that we are unable to accommodate +1s for the remainder of the event, which is good. Everyone should have a meet and greet tickets, and everyone should make sure their hands are clean and not going to do anything stupid. Obviously. But too little too late. And Twitch has zero tolerance for harassment or acts that inhibits the safety and security of our community, which you clearly don't. I'm just saying, you really don't. You have a legal obligation to protect you have an obligation to protect your people, to protect your guests, to protect your streamers and people that do attend the event. And clearly you failed that the first time. And right here, it's really important to us that our creators enjoy their experience at TwitchCon and feel safe. We regret that their experience was disrupted by this horrible incident. Yes, horrible incident that you allowed. The ones always, not 100. Okay, yeah, I understand. So okay, I understand. Yeah, alright. I was wrong there, but the one but as of right now, obviously Emmy is pressing charges, and yeah, obviously I got that shit, and hold on, actually, let me look something up. So I just had to make sure I got that bit right, cause obviously I just went on a fucking tangent. Here. If an incident happened on a convention premise? Is it the company? The only problem is the law in the state the crime was committed was com- understandable. So I actually looked this up, and obviously it's the victim that should report the incident. But even then, I do think, and yeah, obviously I got that shit wrong. But even then, I do think that Twitch should have just handed that dude's ass to the police, or just like hold it down until the police gets involved, so that way charges can be pressed. That's just. I'm sorry if I went on a fucking tangent. It clearly got that fucking wrong. Like I said, I did not. This is literally all unscripted bullshit. All right, but let's see what else I have. Not that. Oh, right. Emmy's response. Let's go ahead and bring that shit up, shall we? So, obviously, Emmy has me. The establishment can obviously have an act as a witness. Yeah. Yeah. And there could be more that can also serve as a witness, too. Right. Alright. So, Emmy has made the response. Oh, Coke. Ah, obviously, Emmy has made a response. And hello, everyone. I am okay, and thank you for all the kind messages. Sorry I cannot respond to them all. It's understandable. Yesterday, the man who assaulted me was allowed to cross multiple barriers at TwitchCon and even in front of other creators meet and greet to grab me and my face and try to kiss me. Fortunately, he wasn't able to, but the law had pointed out that it could have been worse. Yes. Alright, okay. So, this is something I know because this is something that a lot of people should know, but but a lot of times where you're gonna be heading somewhere or just really anywhere in general, a lot of shit that will happen is completely unpredictable. Like even in conventions, it's gonna be unpredictable, and that's just the core of things when you're gonna be out in a public area. You don't know what's going to happen, and chances are, what did happen could potentially be can be a lot worse than you would imagine, than you could imagine or will imagine. So in this case, the dude did try to kiss her, and for all anybody know, that could have been worse. It could have been so much worse. Because what if the dude was holding a knife, or what if he's holding a weapon? He could have been able to easily to get a hit on Emmy. That shit can happen, and it happened before. A lot public when you're out in the public, shit is completely unpredictable. You don't know what's going to happen, and you're sure as hell may not make it to the next day, or hell, you might be caught in the middle of it. But anyways, I'm all, I'm obviously shaken up by what happened, and it's not the first time I dealt with something like this. To tell you honestly, I'm a lot more hurt and upset by how Twitch handled it during and after the fact. I'm also upset at that too. And it's more upsetting to me that this was not a concern that was that was brought up beforehand and was addressed and had to be addressed before doors open. Yeah, yeah. He could have tried to stab her, and with all the time he had before someone intervened, would have been able to stab her. Hell, they would have been. That's exactly the thing. Anything could have happened, and we would not have known any better. And we would not have known. Nobody would have known. And the way that Twitch handled it, and like I said before, Twitch could have been. And when I said that Twitch should have been able to press charges, that obviously that bit is wrong, and I do want to point that. And obviously, thank you to Akuro for correcting that. Um, but Emmy should have been. Emmy is, but as of right now, obviously, Emmy is pressing charges and is going to handle the situation. And obviously, Twitch should be able to service witnesses, and there were other people in that did happen, that was there when it happened, can also serve as witnesses as well. So that's one thing I will go ahead and bring out. All right, so, but like I said before, Twitch should have. This should have been the first thing Twitch need to consider, because you don't want this shit to happen you don't want this shit to happen, and you're trying to mitigate it as much as you can. You're trying to mitigate as much problems as you can. There are people getting their drink spiked. Make sure everyone has a cover so that way this doesn't happen. So that way it doesn't happen. And if it's open, so that way it doesn't happen, right? To at least try to mitigate the problem, because it would take some time to open a fucking cap. A lot of physical altercations, obviously increase your security. Obviously make sure there's a lot of security around, and make sure your staff members and make sure anyone on security is keeping an eye out for anything that happened. Is actively watching it unfold as it happens along with your staff members. There's a lot of things, like I said, a lot of things can happen in the convention, and it can slip right past you if you have very shitty security. So it's always important that this is addressed the first time around, not after the fact, or during the fact, before the fact, before it even happens. It needs to be the first thing you think of. Whatever is the worst possible situation, worst case scenario, there is a chance that it can and will happen. So you always want to make sure that is security is done right the first time. And trust me when I say that, that's going to matter a lot, especially for people who will want to probably come next year, assuming so. All right. So like I said, I don't understand how he was allowed to make it up to me in to the first place. The security clip who reacts as my own security. It's true. My favorite and usual security guard was banned for holding a stalker's arm to bring into police at a past TwitchCon. So, okay, so this is something I actually did not bring up because I wanted to save this for later. But obviously, yes, I did mention that the guy that did that pushed like the assailant, is her own security, is her own personal security. The last guy she had for security at TwitchCon last year had this was so to say intimidating, and Twitch banned that security guard outright, citing that he was too intimidating. I am not joking. So I have the proof actually. Let me go ahead and bring it up. And and I have it in my notification. Let me see here. Um, where is it? Where is it? Here. So, as I said before, so this is from Permaban, and or Banmin, as some of you guys do know. Imagine someone basically sexually assaulting you, and the company you work with wanted to give him just a 30-day ban. The same company who deprived you of the bodyguard who you know would have done his job properly because the said company he was too intimidating. Too intimidating, right? And I responded, if your security guard is too intimidating, then that's a good thing because then nobody would be crazy to do anything like what happened. And I do mean that very well. And I do mean that pretty well. It's so fucking dumb because bodyguards should be intimidating so that people would think twice before doing something like that. Exactly. The idea. Yep. So the idea is that if your security guard is too intimidating, that's kind of the fucking point. If you're complaining that a security guard is too intimidating, well, guess what? That's the fucking point. Literally, that's the whole point of a security guard. You need you need them to be fucking intimidating, so that way anyone is not gonna do something that's dumb, obviously. But apparently, Twitch thinks that's kind of crazy, right? That no, we should your guy is being too intimidating and clearly so. So obviously we need to ban him we need to ban him because it's unacceptable with the way he handled things. Well, how was well, here's my question to you then, Twitch. How do you think a security guard is supposed to handle the situation? Hmm? How are they supposed to handle it? Are they supposed to just go up to the person and be like, stop the shit? Just go up to them and be like, stop the shit. No, no, no. Stop the shit. No, too much. Too much right there. Stop the shit. No, they're not obviously going to listen. And trying to tell them, hey, stop, it's not going to be enough. When shit happens at that moment, people will. Uh, I think a personal security should be able to act with a little more force. That's just my opinion. And and obviously the security guard last year who clearly restrained the dude's arm, according to Emiru, which I will go ahead and pull that back up. Saying right here was banned for holding a stalker's arm to bring him to the police, which I would never want my bodyguards to look like twinks or fanboys, because who would even be intimidated by them? Someone would attack me and without any care in the world. Exactly. So, like I said, your security guard, your personal security, your personal bodyguards, or your personal security should be intimidating. They should be tough. They should be able to handle a situation and look intimidating enough so people will look at them and go, fuck that, fuck no. That's the point, right? That's the fucking point. But why would if Twitch thinks that that's too intimidating, then I personally think they're a bunch of pussies for thinking that someone that a personal bodyguard who's doing their job is too excessive or too rough or too intimidating, because that just shows how completely weak they are, in my opinion. However, there were at least 4 other TwitchCon security staff in the area who did not react and let the guy walk away. As you can see in the clip, they don't even appear in the frame. Oh, oh no! If you're secure, so, and yes, I will go ahead and repeat that so you motherfuckers can and will fucking want to hear this. There were at least 3 or 4 other TwitchCon security staff in the area who did not react and let the guy walk away. Do you not have Twitch? Do you not have any idea how incredibly dumb you are looking right now? You have, I'm gonna say this. You have one chance. One fucking chance to get your shit together, to get everything done the first time. Your security should be trained to respond to shit like this. You as a company are obligated to protect the people around, to protect your attendees, whether they're a streamer or or a viewer, right? You have an obligation to do that, and apparently, your security team is basically as incompetent is basically incompetent. They did not, and how they did not get involved or even try to help that one personal security guard, that one personal security, bless his fucking soul, for doing his job and actually, oh, Jesus. Bless his soul, bless his heart for actually stepping in and actually getting involved and being like, back this shit up, fool. Back this shit up. I would have loved for him, for that bodyguard to push that motherfucker enough to cause him to fucking hit the ground. That would have been fun. That would have been funny. That would have been amazing. But no. But I understand, and he did his job enough to stop to stop the situation, and bless his heart for actually trying to stop the situation instead of being like these bunch of fucking security staff who just stood there, who just fucking stood there. Whether I don't know whether it's just like, oh well, well, not my problem. Oh well, sucks for her. It's so fucking stupid. You you gotta clean house. You gotta work on your security, Twitch. The woman who is walking me away is my own personal manager, which I did mention. And behind the booth, they were the only two people that were checking in on me and company were her and my friend. None of the TwitchCon staff came to ask what happened or if I was okay. Oh, you don't want to be. Oh my fucking god. This has to be. Who did Twitch hire for security? It wasn't like their own trained staff. Was it like them they trained? Who the fuck was it? Did they just like hire like so? They just like train up some security and just be like, just make sure nothing looks out of the nothing looks too suspicious or out of the ordinary. You can just chill if you want. Like, what the fuck is going on with security? And how did you mess up this badly on security? Like, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, Jesus fucking Christ, this is so stupid. I know this is streaming to Twitch, and I know damn well this is going to attract a lot of people who are gonna be like, why is there this one? Why are you on Twitch shitting on them, and yet you dress like a whore? Well, first of all, I'm fucking 5'1". I'm short, and and obviously I look like a fucking whore because that's the point. That's the kind of the point of how I set this whole damn outfit up. I look like a fucking whore, even though this is actually a nun. This is actually a nun outfit. So I'm doing this. This is all on. If Twitch wants to be a dick, if Twitch wants to be a dick to other people, then sure, I'll be a dick right back to them. I could fucking care less. Also, for the record, I know I'm gonna lose like a lot of my. If this actually gets banned, if my account gets banned on Twitch, it's gonna be so funny. It's gonna be so funny at the same time because it's like I'm gonna lose all of my I'm gonna lose all of my followings to a lot of people on Twitch, and I'm not even gonna fucking remember every last one of them. This is so kind of funny. But anyways, my friend who was present told me Twitch security were also behind the booth afterwards, joking about how they didn't even see what happened, immediately laughing, moving on to talking about something else. You're so, if your security is already making fun of the situation, I would probably want to kick. I probably would not want to take that. I would not take that shit lying down. Oh no, no, no. Let me tell you something here. Let me tell you a really fun story. I used to work at an arcade. I had shit on Saturdays. It's so fucking hectic, right? It's like so fucking hectic. It's insane it's insane to say the least. This kind of shit does happen. A lot of crazy shit happened. I remember one time, someone actually lit a trash can on fire at the arcade, and to the point where we were starting to check IDs and shit. I also know that there was a lot of physical altercations that happened in the arcade. I remember one person. I remember like a group that actually came in. I actually remember like one person that actually came in and beat the shit and started fighting with some of my with some of the other with some of my coworkers. I also know that one person at that day. I also know one person that day that actually went in and actually restrained the dude to stop him to stop him from fighting. Which hats off to that dude. He was a goddamn hero for actually holding the dude back, for holding that one dude that was about to throw some fucking hands. But and we talk, and I always talk, and a lot of shit like this happened. I also know at one point there was like a group of friends that actually brought water guns into the premise, into the arcade. Oh, basically a lot of this shit can and will happen. And obviously, when I told like the higher ups, I obviously didn't joke about it, but I did tell them something like this, like, "Hey," and they're like, "Yes." Someone's out there with a water gun and everything, and they're like, "Oh, all right, I'll go take a look." And they obviously know that, yes, that obviously I wasn't, that no, I don't joke about that, and yes, I may sound like I'm not, I may sound like I'm not, I may sound like I'm joking, but I do mean that, yes, I did see it happen, and very much I'm gonna fucking point it out. A lot of fun things for sure. A lot of crazy shit did happen in the arcade. But so no, so and obviously you, if you're like security and or you're like staff, you obviously don't want to fucking joke about this. You can talk about it, and obviously you'll want to bring it up. If it was me, I'd talk about it and be like, why did nobody do anything about it? Why did none of you guys do anything about it? And if they tell me like, hey, it's not my job to, I'm like, your job is to protect people, dipshit. Of course you're gonna have to. Of course you should. Of course it's your fucking job. You signed up to be a security in the first place. What the fuck were you What the fuck were you thinking of when you signed up for this job? You're just gonna stare out there, just be like, oh, looks good enough for me. Time to go on my phone. No, you're a security guard. You're obviously there to keep an eye out for any fucking troublemakers. That's the point of your fucking job. Okay. So if no one was checking if I was okay or if I needed anything and they let the guy run away initially, I have no idea what anyone hired to keep the event safe was doing. I don't either. I fucking don't either, and Twitch needs to either do their job, either needs to up their security, or actually do something about their fucking security if that happens. And it certainly didn't seem like some kind of private company either. It feels like it's Twitch's own staff that they. It's like Twitch. It's like Twitch personally hired like people to be staff to be like security for the convention. I don't know. I don't know personally. I don't know if they actually hired like some. If they actually got like a third party, like a private company to be their security guard, to be like their security department, or they just like have a whole security department just for that convention. I don't know, and I don't think I want to know. And if it is their own security, like their own, they hired and paid, you might want to do something about that. Just throwing that out there now. In Twitch's statement, they said that the guy was immediately caught and detained. I'm sorry, but that is a blatant lie. He was allowed to walk away from my meet and greet, and I didn't hear he was caught until hours after he attacked me. And it felt like this only happened because of my manager pressing for it, not because TwitchCon's staff present thought it was a big deal. Meaning that which would suggest that you know the clip that just so happened to show the dude walking away with his badge in hand, with his badge still around his neck. That tells me, from what I got here in this response, that seems to tell me that when he left, that was after the incident. After the incident. Not during the. That was after the incident because obviously it happened. Obviously the guy was leaving and there was no way, to. And obviously there could have been anything. And obviously so. So that would tell me that was after the incident. And he was able to walk away like that. And the fact that that it took a manager to step in and be like, okay, it feels like they only did something because of the pressure they were receiving. Well, guess what? Apparently that pressure was, well, they clearly did, and and it clearly wasn't obligated either. Oh shit, my thing froze. Hold on, I need to reset my thing, because I think I'm going overheats on my camera. There we go. I'm sorry. It kind of feels like they only did something because of the pressure they were receiving. Well, you also have to remember that it was her manager that stepped in and be like, "Listen, this shit, what happened is unacceptable, and she is and she is shaken up. So you need to fucking do something, or I'm gonna have your or something is going to fucking happen." This shit is unacceptable. Probably something like that. I don't really know the whole. Like I said, I don't entirely know the whole scenario top to bottom. I just only imagine what might have transpired. You know. I have a lot more I want to say, but I will say it on stream later today instead of writing a book on here. Thank you guys again. And sorry you all had to see that. This is definitely my last TwitchCon, which is very important to understand. And it saddens me to say that as a 10-year off and on the 10-year TwitchCon, I think other creators should seriously consider not attending in the future. I did not feel cared for or protected, even bringing my own personal security or staff. I can't imagine how creators without those options would feel. Probably told them she was going to sue them if they did nothing. I'm pretty sure they. Yeah. I really hope that's the case. But as obviously as we know, this is going to be Amir's last TwitchCon, and for that all to happen, and the fact that you just managed to make one of your biggest streamers say that they are not going to attend TwitchCon anymore, they are not going to attend TwitchCon, that's already enough to tell me. That's enough to tell me that you have majorly fucked up. And I do not think that, and in my opinion, I don't think TwitchCon is going to make it to next year. I think and assuming it did, right? So, let's go ahead and talk about that shit, right? So, what if TwitchCon was able to make it to next year? What do I, an idiot, and a dumbass, an idiot, a donkey, a dumbass, think should happen? Think what should happen if they are going to do TwitchCon next year? Well, obviously, fucking fix your security. Tighten that shit up. Tighten your security, and make sure that there is increased security presence. Make sure your guys look fucking intimidating. Make sure they know they are constantly watching the scene and keeping an eye out, hearing, listening and seeing anything that may happen, anything that could potentially that could potentially lead up to a possible incident. Because, and this is important because this needs to be done the first time, not after an incident had transpired, but the first time, before it even happens, before the doors open. You need to consider, Twitch needs to consider everything that happens. Needs to consider any and all possible things that will happen. The worst case scenario, yes, any worst case scenario they can think of. Probably a shoot up or some shit. Probably a shoot up or someone blasting their way into the door, their way to the door and just shooting the damn place up. Whatever kind of worst case scenario you can think of, someone getting sexually harassed, someone getting drugged, whatever you're thinking of, that can and likely will happen. No convention is truly safe. I'm telling, no convention is truly safe because because shit like this is going to happen. Can and likely will happen. It's not going to be a one-off. If it happened somewhere before, if it happened in another convention, chances are it's going to happen here. And obviously, you want to take steps to mitigate it as much as you can. Obviously, you can't stop. Obviously, you can't completely stop it, but you can try to reduce this. But you can try to lower the chances of it happening. And even then, a 1% chance is still a chance of it happening. I know that's fucking XCOM rules, but the points kind of still stand. Second, whoever's the dipshit that said that someone's personal security guard is too intimidating, get rid of that guy. Get rid of that person. Just get rid of him. Clearly he doesn't know what's going on, and clearly they don't know what's going on, and clearly they don't know how very dangerous the situation can get. And thirdly, make sure don't just outright say, "Oh, we are very secure." No, you're not. If you are very secure, you gotta fucking prove that. And how do you prove that? Obviously, going back to the first step, get your security right the first time. And make sure that this shit don't happen, because when your security is ass, what do you think is going to fucking happen? Someone is going to be crazy. Someone's going to do something. You may not know when. You may not know where. You may not even know how they managed to get through. And it always starts at the front of the door. You may never know what's going to happen. And I guarantee you, whatever you're thinking of, whatever kind of worst case scenario you think of, what your negative bias is thinking, that's a very likely chance. It is a likely chance, or even a very likely chance that it will happen. It may not happen it may not happen one day, but maybe the next day. Maybe the second day, the third day, maybe the fourth and final day. You don't know, because it can and will happen at any time, anywhere. And you may be in the middle, and you may end up being you may be the next one with a bullet in your head, with a stab wound in your stomach, with a bunch of stab wounds. Hell, you might even be on the floor with no limbs, with your limbs removed, with your limbs fucking blown off. You don't know what's going to happen. You don't know. You don't know what's going to happen. And I promise you, I fucking promise you, when shit like this, if you have shitty security, that risk gets higher. When your security tightens up, when you tighten up security, when you increase security presence, and you make sure that there are law enforcement in the area, always always around, keeping an eye on things. And making sure that everyone's having a good time in the convention. That risk is mitigated. It's not completely removed, it's not completely stopped, but it is mitigated, because no one's going to be crazy enough to do it, and those that are crazy enough to do it are not likely going to have any chance of it, are probably going to do minimal damage, are going to probably do the bare minimum damage. It's not, no security is perfect. I understand that. But you need to get it right the first time. The very first time. Because you don't want this to happen. But it's not just security. TwitchCon, I've heard, as I watch Twitter, like a fucking terminally online moron. Someone else got caught in the crossfire, and we're about to get to it. We are about to fucking walk into it. So, let's get to this bit. Let's fucking get to this bit. So, I don't know. So, obviously, if you guys have been on Twitter, Chibidoki has mentioned that the staff was obviously very nice and told me to walk all the way to the help desk to get permission to enter my meet and greet, because the wristband they gave me doesn't work apparently, and they had to show their face, which honestly is which is unsettling in my opinion. They also cut, and Chibi added saying here, they also cut it short and we didn't get to meet everyone. I am so sorry. If you get to see me around the con, please feel free to say hi. And then someone has pointed this out, saying right here, wait, they cut y'all short? When I asked the staff, they said it was y'all who cut it short. Chibi has obviously seen it and said, what the fuck? What the fuck? And they said that, and apparently some of the TwitchCon staff members have said that it was because Chibi apparently had voice issues, and they would move folk to a different meet and greet area due to health. But due to their health conditions, it just got cut off. I don't know. Look, I don't know who over at Twitch, which of the staff members, whether it was a higher up or anyone, told them that. But whoever told them that that is completely unacceptable and completely a lot of betrayal. Feels like a betrayal to a lot of your people who has basically had a meet and greet in the event. Right? Which is just, and I really don't, and Chibi has said that asked, can anyone else from a meet and greet vouch for this? Nags and I were told to stop. I'm so incredibly sad. I never even told any staff. I am sick. I'm so confused. I showed up and asked if I could wait for Nags. We're going out. That's the only time staff talked to me in the meet and greet area before telling us to cut the line short. I'm so sorry this is true. And when Twitch, and honestly, Twitch, you are so fucking horrible for that. To lie about that. You could have just been straight up honest with them. You could have just been straight up honest. Just be like, look, there was like a thing that, there was like this big incident that happened with with Emiru, and obviously we need to cut the line short. We already told them about this, and we're gonna make sure that you guys have a different area and all that shit, right? Just work a possible solution out. Just work out a solution for the problem. But no, apparently their solution was, let's lie. Let's fucking lie. And save our asses a little. And save our asses a little. And while we're at it, let's go ahead and point the finger. Let's go ahead and point the finger elsewhere. And speaking of pointing the fingers elsewhere, I've been wanting to talk about something else. And Akuro, if you're in chat, you know this was coming. So, let's go ahead and fucking talk about it. Because, oh man, I got a lot of fucking shit to say. I got so much to say. Oh man, oh man. This is gonna be a fun one. For sure. Oh shit, I'm fucking tired. Sorry. It's already like 42 minutes past midnight. And I'm up here still yip yapping to you guys. Clearly, obviously this was very much unscripted, and I'm like tripping over my fucking words. So, let's go ahead and bring this up. Alright, here we go. So, I'm gonna go ahead and make sure this is muted. And we're gonna pause here. So, see, Twitch CEO Dan Clancy on the Emir assault. Right. So, obviously, this girl, Taylor Lorenz, I don't like her really. I don't like her. I don't really like her at all, honestly. And I really don't like I said, I don't really like her. But whatever. She interviewed Dan Clancy, the CEO of Twitch, the same guy that you probably seen a lot of clips on Twitter already spreading like a wildfire. And if you've seen it, you already know the whole situation. The dude's just fucking weird. The dude's just fucking weird, and I don't even know why. But let's go ahead and look through this, shall we?
What are you guys doing to prioritize safety? Because I know also a bunch of Twitch content creators said that they were too scared to even come to TwitchCon this year, just in
Which is fucking true for the fucking record.
case something like what happened yesterday would happen.
The safety of our creators is a top priority. The challenge we face is a challenge in today's society. It's not limited to Twitch. It extends throughout our society.
Sadly, it also exists on your fucking platform and in the real world.
I do think that when you're live streaming, in many ways, since you control your community and you can ban people, you can make it so that those people that you don't want engaging with you and participating with you aren't there. Okay, it's very different, you know, when I use other short form content.
I'm gonna repeat that for you guys, just so we are fucking clear.
throughout our society. I do think that when you're live streaming, in many ways, since you control your community and you can ban people, you can make it so that those people that you don't want engaging with you and participating with you aren't there. Okay, it's very different. You know, when I use other short form content and people say all sorts of stuff, well, I can't stop that. But when I live stream, they basically don't bother me. Now, what happened yesterday obviously was something that we care deeply about.
What he just said right there is essentially, oh, Emiru just don't know. And what happened to Emiru was essentially her fault, right? Was her fault, you know. She don't know how to control her community. She should know how to control her community. You know, ban people, ban people, and make sure they don't know, and make sure and block them, and make sure she has full, and she clearly has full control of her community, the community that she herself created and did herself, and you know, made it herself, or as this person lovingly put it, shape the kind of fans they attract. Well, here's the well, okay, here's the giant problem with that. Here's the ginormous problem. Any one of us streaming, whether you're a big streamer or a small streamer, like me personally, or you're just starting out, as a brand new content creator, as a brand new live streamer, whether you started off as a VTuber like us, or you're just like showing your face and all that shit. However you're streaming, right? Just like however you stream in general. When you eventually build up your audience, or when you do have an audience, you don't know your audience. You don't know your audience ever, and you don't know how they can act. You cannot control any one of them. I don't know anyone, and I cannot tell how they can be. I don't know how someone can be, right? For all I know, someone in either one of my chat, in either YouTube, Twitch, or even Twitter, could be watching me and could be like fucking parasocial to hell and back. Just be like, oh, Lumi, my love, I can't wait to see you. Like, I can't tell. I don't know for sure, because for all I know, they could I don't know if they're in chat. I don't know if they're breaking any rules. I don't even know what the fuck's going on. Because guess what? And I can't just sift through the entirety of chat, just looking for anything to say, just looking for that specific moment, right? I can't just sift through chat all in the real time while I stream. I can't do that. And you know why? Because I cannot babysit, because I, and other streamers, by extension, cannot babysit 1,000 people at a time. 1,000 people on one stream. I don't have that ability. I only have the ability to entertain and just do what I do. If I attract someone that I don't like, well, I can't just I don't know that, because what if they don't fucking talk? What if they never interact with me? Unless they interact with me and I know which will give me their username, obviously I will be able to ban them. I will be able to ban them and be like, okay, I'm not gonna have you in my stream anymore. Yes, you do have control. Yes, you do have a way to make sure that there are people that you don't want in your community. That's true. But you cannot control your community. But you cannot personally control everyone. You don't know how anyone can be. You don't know how they can act. You don't even know how they can be. Hell, anyone I could probably ban by now will probably come back with a second account and just watch me without even saying a fucking peep. I just literally mentioned that, a curl. Oh man. But like I said, I don't know anyone. I don't know any of you guys in chat. I don't know anybody who are watching my stream. But like I said, I don't. And for all I know, like I said, for all I know, someone in my stream could be watching and they could not even be, and they would not even be looking, and they would not even be in chat. And if I ever find out and did ban them, well, guess what? They could just make another account and just keep their mouths shut. And if I was to say, "Oh, I'm gonna be going to TwitchCon. Hope to see you all there," guess what? They could be in there with a second account, and they'd be like, "Oh, you're going to TwitchCon. I finally get to see you. Don't worry, you'll soon be mine." You understand that? Because I don't know. Because I will never know what happened. It's like I said before, you don't know how a situation can potentially escalate, or what's going to happen. And clearly, the dude is just all like, "Oh, she clearly can control her community. It's clearly her fault." It's that he's suggesting that, and it's very much frustrating because it's clear to me that, and this is the same guy who, and this is the same dude who was like, "Oh, I'm gonna congratulate this person who gave birth on stream," as if that, like, what? Did anyone need to see that? Or that one time that there was like a fucking furry on the front page who had like some kind of weird ass fetish, and next thing you know, that same person, that same furry, the fucking furry with the diaper fetish, just went in to just like go in, talk shit about XQC, just like fucking and just be like, compared them to like a fucking bug that you would squish. I'm like, did you really fucking say that out loud on stream? I don't. Okay, that's not something you usually want to say on stream, but alright, then, that's kind of fucking weird. That's a little fucking weird to say, and I don't know what made you have that idea, or why you need to sound that kind of shit, why you need to sound so shitty. Like, what? Like, why did you need to sound that shitty right into the public, where clearly someone is going to see it and obviously is going to question you, and obviously may question you. And the guy got front page on Twitch. Yeah, it's just weird. So I don't know why they would get front page, and I'm not understanding. Now, if it was just like some regular trans that's just like one, obviously, it's not like some kind of weak. It's not crazy or anything. It's just like a person that just wants to exist and everything. I would have been chill with having them on the front page to be like, "Oh, so they're getting a little bit of the spotlight," you know. And I'm like, "All right, cool. They seem to be talented, but we are talking about a furry with a diaper, with some kind of weird ass diaper fetish, who also just so happens to compare XQC who wants to treat XQC like squishing a bug, something you will easily squish or probably run down, or like those little people NPCs you run down in GTA. Like, what? Really? That shit is so unnecessary. You could have just kept your mouth shut right then and there. And I'm on a fucking tangent. I'm on a goddamn tangent. I'm already on a fucking tangent. We are way beyond the point here. I'm sorry. Let's get back to this fucking clip.
One Twitch
Work to be done, because that's the world we live in now.
Demi had posted earlier.
That means there's always our tools in terms of support her. This is just in this environment, we're looking very closely at everything. Now, what happened yesterday obviously was something that we care deeply about.
You care deeply about. Yeah, you clearly did after your staff member just didn't. Clearly, since your staff member didn't want to get. We're just like talking shit about it. We're just like talking about it and laughing and joking about it. And your security is just like, not my problem. Yeah, yeah, clearly you care so deeply. So fucking clear. Oh my god. So you cared so deeply about what happened. Oh my god. We did so much. We cared so much. Oh my fucking god. Please forgive us. People of the internet, we are the victims here too. It's not just her. Ugh. Fucking idiots. Fucking retarded ass idiots.
Securing this environment, we're looking very closely at everything that happened there, and I care deeply about Emmy. She's a
You do? You do? You care deep. Let's do that again, shall we?
we're looking very closely at everything that happened there, and I care deeply about Emmy. She's a friend of mine.
She's a friend of yours. She's a friend of yours, right? She's a friend of yours. You care deeply about her. If you are a friend to her, why did you not do it? Why did that happen in the first place? Because if you deeply care about her, why did that happen in the first place then? Like I said before, if you really did not, you can't stop you can't entirely stop a lot of things that will happen, but you can mitigate it. And that's the important, and clearly, you did not mitigate it. And also clearly, you did not even think it would happen. How do I know that? It happened that moment. And you expressing that, hey, and someone over at Twitch posted saying, posting about how secure what Twitch is doing to keep you guys to be a secure event. Yeah, it clearly didn't happen now, didn't it? So whoever's the person that made that thing, who made that whole marketing shtick, like the whole pamphlet about safety, clearly was lying. And if I had a general idea, I love to know. I would imagine that probably came from the top, So if that came from the top, my first thought is, why did you, the CEO, not take into consideration that this could have happened, that this could happen, and someone was like, no, it could, and either you or someone else was like, no, it could not have happened. It won't happen. We're very secure. We have great security. We will ensure that this will not happen. Yet it happened anyways. Like I said, fucking retarded.
And so I want to see how we can support her.
You did not support her. What you could support her in is is apprehending the guy and turning him to the bus. Even security can be your witness. Even some of your security staff members can be your witness. But that never happened because apparently they did not want to get involved. Whether they did not want to get involved or they just simply were like, not our problem. It's a bitch anyways.
This is just something we have to keep working on. I think everyone identifies our tools in terms of trust and safety as the leaders in the industry about helping creators, but that means
you did not help creators. Not one bit, my man. Not one bit, my man. Not one fucking bit. Because if that happened, that clearly tells me you did not. And clearly so, right? Yes. The thing is that it's already too late. They fucked up badly and there's nothing they can do to reverse that. Yes, exactly. they're saying that, and when that shit happens, you don't, and when that shit happened, it's a major fuck up to the point that, oh, that's a problem. And what's even worse, the coup de grace, in my opinion, is that this something like this that's a major fuck up. Guess what? You ain't gonna get another chance to fix that shit. You ain't gonna get another chance to save face. You get one shot. You literally get one shot to fix it. And you fucked up that badly, you ain't getting another shot. You ain't gonna get a second chance. It's the same as how I feel when it comes to people releasing their product. Even for a fucking game. You do it right the first time, you're going to get one shot at the first impression. You will never get another opportunity again. You will never get a chance to fix your shit. You need to do it right the first time. And the same applies here. Security needs to be, they need to get it right the first time. Implement security. Tighten up your security. Make sure make sure your security has an increased presence in the area so people know and feel safe. Building trust is extremely hard, but losing it must be the easiest thing ever. And well, they are losing a lot of trust. Yes, it is not easy to build trust. It is not easy to, and it is super easy to lose it. Think like Jenga, right? It takes a lot of work to build it all back up, right? And it takes a lot of work to build that fucking tower, right? But one wrong move and that shit, but one fucking wrong move, and obviously you're gonna have, and one fucking wrong move, and that whole tower is gonna come down. It's gonna fucking come down. And rest assured, it's gonna take a long time to fix that shit. And sometimes, but another good example, take like a fucking, if you have like a glass ball, if you have like a glass cup, take it, obviously, if you have a glass cup that you don't use, grab that shit, drop it from like a couple feet high, and drop it from like a couple feet high, and watch it break onto the ground. Now try to fucking repair that shit. You can't, right? That's the point. Once you break it, you ain't gonna fix it. That's the fucking point. I should have done that comparison instead of the Jenga. Sorry, did that and my mother obliterated me. Oh man.
There's always more work to be done because that's the world we live in now.
Demi had posted earlier today that I guess this fan was allowed to cross multiple barriers at TwitchCon. Why should streamers trust Twitch to keep them safe at TwitchCon? Because I feel like simultaneously this has been such a secure event to the point that even like journalists have had struggled, like, you know.
Do you notice something? Like, do you notice how extremely jumpy that whole clip is? Like, that whole thing, you notice how it was like it's like there's a lot of editing in there. A lot of very unsmooth editing. And I've edited videos before, and that certainly did not feel smooth. It's like they're tripping on their fucking. It's like obviously like me, they're tripping on their fucking words. But it's not like smooth to have. It's not like smoothly transitioned, or it's not like one take or anything.
It is very secure, but here's this man that just walks up and is somehow able to bypass all these things. So why should they trust the platform when slip-ups or, you know, issues like this have happened?
Well, I mean, as you know, I think you toured some of what we do in terms of security. The reality is, even as you do a lot in terms of security in today's world, there are challenges that can present themselves, especially when someone is putting themselves out there, right? And so, you know, we try to work very closely with each creator about what they want to do and what works for them, right? So I don't want to get into any, you know, specifics or details, but part of that is working with creators and, you know, trying to find them. Right now, we're definitely, you know, ramping it up to make sure creators know that we have the resources there to help them figure out what's right for them.
Except that's too late. That's the problem. It's too late. You had one that it's too late. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. It's just too late. Because now that it happened, you don't get another shot. You don't get another chance at it. People have already seen it, and now they're really considering, and now they're seriously considering about not going to TwitchCon next year. That's the thing. You only get one shot at this. You only get one shot to get it right. Because first impressions in any event, for anything, products, software, games, conventions, events, you get one shot, one chance. You don't get another one. You fucked up once, and you fucked that up. You think no one's gonna give you another chance next time. The thing is that Twitch is so well positioned that the backlash is probably going to be very little. A lot of streamers aren't going to leave Twitch because of that. I think, and yes, I do believe, yeah, that's true. I think even then, they still have a better chance. I think streamers just have a wider chance to grow. That's not Twitch. All they really have to do is just stream on YouTube and stream to like stream to like Twitter as well. It's probably TwitchCon is done, but the platform is going to be there probably forever. Yeah, Twitch as a platform is already strong, but the convention ain't gonna make it. That I can assure that much. People are saying like, oh Twitch is not gonna make it. It's not going to make it for long. No, they still have a lot of money on them, and I don't think Amazon is going to be like, yeah, we're gonna cut this shit down. We're gonna cut this shit down. We're gonna chop that shit in half and just throw it away. No, they won't do that because I think a lot of people do rely on Twitch, but there's also the option of multi-platforming. There's also the option of like multi-platforming. Like obviously, I stream to YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. Those are my three main platforms. I never stream to Kick because I kind of don't feel because I know I have streamed to Kick at one point, but I actually chose against it because I was like, I'm not okay with Twitch. I'm not okay with Kick now. And Twitch is owned by Amazon. They're not going to let it die because of this. No, yeah, Amazon's not going to kill it. Amazon's probably just going to be like, okay, this is very unacceptable. You guys need to do something or something. You guys going to need to do something about this. Whatever you guys do, make sure it works. And I really don't think Twitch is going to bleed money. The only way they're going to bleed money is that people do leave the platform. And sometimes that's not going to be an option because, I mean, where else are you going? I mean, people do go to Twitch to watch because Twitch is not going, because guess what? You're not going to go. Some people stay on Twitch because this is their only place where they can watch some streamers. And some people and Twitch already has an issue with trying to promote smaller streamers. Because obviously they're just front page is mostly going to have like bigger names. It's going to have like your bigger names and more companies that just wants to that's going to mostly stay at the top there. Some smaller streamers are not going to ever make it. Some smaller streamers are not really going to make it on Twitch. They would be pretty lucky if they would get suggested by the algorithm enough, or some clip was going to make them go viral. Hell, I think if any of you guys are watching this and you're like really trying to reconsider another platform aside from Twitch, I just say do multi-platforming, like stream to YouTube and stream to like Twitter while you're at it. And here's why. If your presence is stream to like Twitter and or TikTok, you have on TikTok you almost have a wider chance to be seen because short form contents are pretty popular, right? And short form content is pretty popular, so as a content creator, you probably want to make the most out of that option. the thing I like the most about Twitch is the chat, but the platform isn't that good. Yeah, that's understandable. And if you're going to multi-stream, I recommend it. I recommend YouTube, Twitter, and TikTok, because TikTok obviously gives you a higher traction and more people can and see your stream. Twitter is also a good option too, because you can also be seen this way as well. You're gonna be seen this way as well. People who follow you on Twitter are going to see it on their live page. And obviously, if you're like me and you disable chat on Twitter, then obviously that will force them to migrate to the other to either YouTube to do that. Basically, it's a viable option, and it's not perfect by no means, but it is. But it's can't. But at least it's going to get you a little bit more noted in YouTube on other platforms. Now, why do I and a moron, an idiot, and a dumbass don't stream to TikTok? Well, I actually don't have. Well, the thing is that I can't actually stream to TikTok live, so. We're not going to talk about that. But I also said it before. Like I said, I do not watch Miru. It's better to multi-platform because it gives you. Yeah. It does increase your chance to be discovered, although admittedly not by much, but at least you still have an opportunity. You have a better chance to be more visible. But you do now. What Moist Criticals did say is that it's better to multi-stream because it gives your audience a chance to choose which platform to use, and also gives you a bit more visibility and betters the chance of being discovered, which is true. He's not wrong there, but it's mostly still going to be subjected to the algorithm at the end of the day. One day you may be lucky and you're going to get like a lot of people tuning into your stream, but there are days where you're not going to get that lucky. And it happens. Not every day, and I just think that not every day is going to be perfect for sure. And while yes, the chances do increase, but you're still gonna have to hope that you can still gather an audience. And that audience is going to solely rely on the algorithm and whether or not the platform likes you and wants to put you in like someone's For You page. But like I said, at the end of the day, a lot of this stuff. At the end of the day, a lot of this stuff is ultimately preventable. It's ultimately preventable. It can't be stopped, but you can prevent it and reduce the chance of it happening. Will it ever be perfect? Not really. Thank you. It's not perfect by no means, right? And don't expect it to be perfect. Oh, someone's coming. You good with the door there? Okay. That was Luna for you guys, in case you don't know. But that's big. But what happened? Now, at the end of the day, what happened at TwitchCon happened, and there is no way you could take that shit back. And there is no way that you could take that back, like, ever. So, and in my opinion, TwitchCon isn't gonna make it. So, to next year, I can assure that much. Also, chat is too tiny, so there we go. Oh. Luna didn't even realize I was streaming. Oh, Luna didn't even realize I was streaming like this whole damn time. But at the end of the day, TwitchCon is not gonna make it to next year. I'm sorry, the CEO is gonna have to really up the ante if he is even thinking about taking it to next year. And if he did, he's gonna have to pray that people are just gonna be like, all right, we'll give him another chance, which is not gonna happen. I can assure that much. I can fucking assure that much. All right, but I'll go ahead and end stream here. I won't be streaming tomorrow. I got to like actually work and shit. And I will not be available this weekend. I am actually going to be out on a trip with Green. So it's probably going to flop. Yeah, it's go. Yeah, TwitchCon is not going to make it. I can assure that. I can bet a lot on it. Even Luna, who's been to more conventions than me, can attest to that. But that's it for me. You'll probably see me next Saturday too, as we continue Half-Life. And maybe if I get paid soon and take care of like all the real life shit that happened, I will be able to play. I'll actually start with Ninja Gaiden 4, which, by the way, I actually got a desk for the room, so maybe I just need a monitor and I can just set up like do like dual PC stream, so I can actually reduce the workload on this damn laptop. Oh man. Which, for you guys that don't know, my laptop is running a 2080 Super, and my PC runs a 2070 Super with a Ryzen 7. So, in case you guys are probably just sitting here like, wait, Lumi, you haven't upgraded your PC yet? Like, you seriously did not upgrade your PC? Well, of course I don't. I technically don't really need to upgrade my PC because it's been doing so well for me. And for literally years, ever since I got and it's been doing well for me for years ever since I got it. So I never felt inclined to upgrade my PC. And my laptop runs like a 2080 Super with an Intel Core, let's see here, with i7 10 Gen. Well, like I said, my main PC, like the PC I use to play games, it's a 2070 Super with a Ryzen 7. And that Ryzen 7 has done so good for me. Like, it literally handled my shit so well. I loved it. I loved it. And I never felt inclined to upgrade my PC because it's like, why would I, right? It's fine with me. I'm saving for a PC. That's good. There are points where I did see some people that were like, hey, why don't you like, would it be better to get a pre-built or build your own? I would say that's mostly dependent on your situation, right? If you have the time and if you have the time, the budget, obviously take the time, build your PC, make it like your own PC. Obviously do that. But if you don't got the time and you clearly got the fucking money, then go for a fucking pre-build. It's fine. Just make sure when you go for a pre-build, make sure that the packaging is very strong. Like double foam that shit. Get a lot of package protection for the PC because I wanted to, yeah, because like if you're gonna get a pre-build, make sure the package has like a shit ton of protection, like a fucking shit ton, enough to ensure that it is not going to fucking smash itself. It's not going to break or dent or fall apart when it ships over to you wherever the hell you live, right? I promise you, like the package foam things, like the package foam. I forgot what they were called, but like the package foam or and the package protection thing, like inside, and the styrofoam. Get like a really good. Make sure there's like a real. And if you're gonna be like one of those like PC builders, I always. This is coming from me as someone who has gotten a lot of PCs in his time and who have gotten my first PC which is basically now sitting in my room. Always double check the packaging, and if you're well, yeah, always make sure that your packaging is secure as hell and nothing gets lost. Get like one of those get like one of those styrofoams. Get like a really strong styrofoam to ensure that it's safe and it makes it all the way here with as little damage as possible. Hell, even put like one of those fucking expandable foams inside like inside the case, so that way none of your parts will fly out. And for anyone that does buy a PC pre-build, double check your fucking package. Seriously. Because I have seen a lot of PCs where that shit falls, where it was just like destroyed and everything. It ain't gonna do it. It's already gone. People get upset. People get so upset. They just start crying and it's like, oh, I wasted thousands of dollars on it. I'm like, yeah, you wasted thousands. Yeah, that's because apparently the company is incompetent enough to not include like basic foam, to not include like styrofoam and expandable foams. And obviously, this is a clear tangent, and obviously, we are way beyond the point. But I still like to point it out, because I just want to give you guys a little bit of update on this. And it's like moving to the apartment. It's been I've been mentally a lot better. And I didn't feel like I had to sound like I'm just like whispering like this or anything. I now can be able to talk a little more confidently and a little more better. Still stumbling on my words, obviously, but I've been a lot better. I still have a lot to do, and I know I haven't done like a full announcement for the project. Which I'm still working on chapter 1, unfortunately. But, honestly, I never made like a full announcement trailer, just like, hey, I'm making an announcement trailer and all that shit, saying that, hey, we're gonna announce chapter 1, right? No, I didn't do that. I just simply said that I'm working on chapter 1, and I never really said like a full on, and I know I mentioned like a shit ton of release day, but at this point it's just like I can't get it in time, honestly. I can't get it in time as I sometimes do plan because I still want to get everyone together to do mocap and all that shit. But I'm basically ranting beyond the point here, and it's already fucking 1:23 here where I live. And I'm sorry for holding you guys hostage with this long ass talk. I really do like to fucking yap sometimes. But anyways, that's it for me. I will see you all next Saturday for Half-Life, as we continue Half-Life. And Sunday we may do Ninja Gaiden 4. No promises there. And I am still waiting for Swords of Justice and Where Winds Meet to release. I will play that once I get like my PC. Once I get like my main PC, my gaming PC set up and everything. And then we do like a full-on dual PC stream type shit again like before. Hopefully I'll bring back like the hand tracking and everything. Because it was fun to actually have the hand tracking and actually use my hands to fucking talk to. Which was so much fun. But that's it for me. I will see you all next Saturday. Not next Saturday. Next Saturday. Do you like those indie scary games? I actually do. I need to play. There's one game actually, you know what? I know we're like near the end of the stream, like Fear to Fathom and all that. I need to play Fears to Fathom because I've heard those are like based on actual. Those are based on like actual scenarios that did happen to someone, to people, and I do want to check that out at some point. But I don't really remember how. But I don't have like the dough right now because obviously I'm taking care of real life things. But there is one game I want to go ahead and check out that I want to show you guys. And I think it's like so cool. I'm not gonna get the one from IGN because I'm gonna be honest, I don't really like IGN. I'm not gonna give them the attention they deserve. Alright, I got it pulled up here. So, I'm gonna go ahead and turn on, and we're gonna not render the environment. At the end, real life is more important. Yeah, exactly. Because I could stream, because let's be real, I could stream for all I want and everything, and as much as, and you guys would probably be chill with it, but I gotta take care of real life things, and that's always going to be like at the center of most of my work, of most of my things. Okay, I'm just gonna readjust my filter. Alright, there we go. This, and transition. We're gonna go. I would love to stream, but yeah, your life is always gonna come first. That I can say that much. Alright, let's take a look at this, because this is what I really want to see. Just like the first thing, like, just like the first thing is the lights going out, that's already gonna like shit my pants. I'm already gonna be shitting myself right there. I already shit myself so many times on fucking Repo. I really did not. I really wanted to save like my fucking reaction for this because I have so much to say, and I've seen the trailer like already. Also, I know the feed cam is still there. I know the feed cam is still there, but you guys can tolerate that shit, right? Of course you could. Why would I ever ask that? But the light here is so small, and I dig that in a sense, because it's like a shitty ass flashlight that you probably could get at a fucking Walmart. The fact that Luna was behind me. Oh wait, I gotta reset my thing again. Alright, there we go. But like the fact that this looks like a fucking flashlight that you could probably get at a fucking Walmart or even Temu, and I think it's pretty funny. It's cool. You notice that there's a countdown right here. Low sedation. It's so you see that shit is so fucking awake. Wait, hold on. I want to read through that real quick. So, uh, So let's see here. That's hard to fucking read. Ketamine. And obviously gloves. Is she in the room? Okay. Fuck. The tail just like fucking smacks her right into the locker. It just knocks her fucking out. That's kind of fucking funny. Ooh. Maybe I'm not used. Maybe I'm just like not so. Maybe I'm just like not so accustomed to the fact that I'm grinding a fucking shark's teeth. Like if that was like if that was done like in a person, I would be fucking traumatized. But this is done in the shark too, so I would be 10 times more traumatizing. I don't like sharks. Huh? We don't talk about Gura. Gura is a shark. But okay, a shark VTuber is an exception. If you guys are wondering who I'm talking to, I'm actually talking to Luna, who's literally right out here. Yeah, they live with me, and you probably will hear them, but they have the voice changer on as well, because I have the fucking voice changer on. So it probably, so to you guys, it sounds so weird, but to me, I hear them just fine, obviously. You're about to find out if you ever watch the VOD. You probably do. And now it's even more high pitched. Oh my god, that gel on the fucking shark tooth is so weird. Okay, so quick question. How do you even take care of a tooth for a hammerhead shark? You know what? I don't even want to fucking know. Oh. Oh my god. Ugh. Wait, Petty. Wait, you can see its eyes twitch. It's like you can see like it's like fucking Solera twitch a little. Ew. Oh my fucking god! Polyps, healthy, infection, inflammation. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my fucking god! Don't tell me you're gonna grind. Don't tell me you're gonna grind that shit. Oh my. Oh my god. Okay, so this is a Chinese trailer, so we're gonna skip
The game
this.
casts players as a lone dentist. published by Alice Games that combines dark comedy, medical simulation, and psychological horror into one surreal experience. The game casts players as a lone dentist working in a grim, decaying underwater facility where they must perform complex dental procedures on colossal, sedated sharks that thrash and groan beneath heavy restraints. Every session is a tense balance between precision and survival. Anesthesia levels must be monitored carefully, as overuse can trigger system failure, while underuse can awaken the shark mid-operation. Players must diagnose and repair a variety of procedurally generated dental problems, ranging from cracked molars and infections to embedded foreign objects, all while managing power.
Wait. You're telling me that all the problems that happens with these fucking tooths are procedurally generated? So you're gonna tell me that? So you're gonna so they're gonna explain like why they just suddenly have these like dental problems, right? Like, well, obviously one of them is gonna be eating a fucking flesh.
Power levels, oxygen supply, and tool degradation in real time. The game's roguelike foundation means that no two operations unfold the same way. Random events such as equipment malfunctions, sudden oxygen leaks, or environmental changes force split-second decisions that determine whether you complete the job or become the next victim. Atmosphere plays a major role, with eerie lighting, muffled aquatic sounds, and visceral sound design emphasizing every creak of metal and distant growl from the tank. The facility itself evolves over time, with upgrades unlocking new wings, tools, and experimental anesthetics that alter gameplay, but also introduce ethical dilemmas as the protagonist begins to question the true purpose of the experiments.
What even is the purpose of these fucking experiments?
Built in Unreal Engine 5, Shark Dentist uses advanced water simulation, dynamic lighting, and volumetric fog to create a hauntingly immersive environment that blurs the line between dark humour and existential dread. It supports both mouse and controller inputs, includes a full achievement and challenge system, and will launch first on PC via Steam, with a console version under consideration. The developers have announced that public playtests and a limited early access phase are planned for late 2025, with the full release expected in 2026. Now you can enjoy the screenshots without any interruption. Enjoy!
Okay. So one thing I did think is that they should have made this game also for VR. That would have been fun. That would have been even more intense. Because I think horror VR has so much potential, but okay, we are literally like beyond the goddamn point here, and we're like nowhere relevant to the fucking topic we were at before, so I'm gonna go ahead and go back now. So again, play some FNAF VR. I have a story about that. Luna is right here, so they might as well hear it. I actually did play FNAF VR. What? I actually played FNAF VR, and you know what? I can actually pull it up. Let me see. I still have the VODs. I still have the VOD after all. Because, you know, I don't delete my VODs. Here. Live. No, wait, it's not live. It's not live. It was literally... where is it? Because I know I have it somewhere. I just don't specifically remember. Like the whole fucking title. So let me just like pry through it. Hmm. still have so much of the old VOD. Maybe next anniversary stream we're gonna like go through them again. Just like revisit the cringe. I actually did some commentary too that I ended up privating. I know it wasn't these. It was like much further out. Oh, here. Found it. I love how this stream just went from like just bitching and calling a Twitch out, and then we're all of a sudden just like watching a few videos before we even fucking end stream. This is how a great way to how we could pass time, right? Alright. Let me show this shit. I was like in the middle of all this setup, so we'll get to the main point. And I'll dock it. So now I can see it. I could have just... oh, I could have just popped it out here. Okay, so one thing I will go ahead and point out. I did not set up the sound properly, so if you're not hearing any sound, like, in the game, that's actually because I kind of forgot to change the settings on my OBS. So, yeah. Hold on, maybe if I just reset the game, maybe that should fix. Okay, there it is. There's the sound. Hey! Just so I can see what's going on my stream.
Experience. Fazbear Entertainment
I know, right?
in the digital age. And what better way to do that than with an edge of your seat virtual reality experience?
Huh? No? If you're wondering who I was talking to, like, on stream, that was actually my mom. But you clearly can't. But you can't hear because of the, like, the voice changer just muffled out background sounds.
We know that Fazbear Entertainment has developed something of a bad reputation over the last few decades. And while it's true that some stories associated with our name were loosely based on actual events, the majority of them were total fabrications from the mind of a complete lunatic. Lawsuits pending. But we aren't above laughing at ourselves. Ha ha ha. That's why we have recreated many of these completely fictitious scenarios, lies, that you've been fed over the last several years.
By the way, in case you guys don't know, at this time when I made this stream, when I streamed FNAF VR, I was in full body. So, and right now I don't have full body anymore. This is a long story.
Into a hilarious VR game, in the hopes that we can finally move past these childish ghost stories and develop a new relationship with you, as well as your kids. Don't forget the merch perfect for birthdays. So sit back and enjoy a few scares. We do,
It's
however,
watching
ask
me.
that you agree to a simple waiver before you play. It's mostly just legal mumbo-jumbo and isn't at all based on user experiences thus far or injuries associated with testing. Just touch the button to agree, and then we can jump. You acknowledge that Fazbear Entertainment is not responsible for accidental digital consciousness transference, real-world manifestations
Evil
of
robot
digital
lord.
chaos, nightmares, night terrors, night sweats.
Yeah, I get the premise. The microphone also came from, so I'll go ahead and tell you guys like the whole VR headset. I was running the Vive Pro, It came like the Vipro 1, not the Vipro 2, but the Vipro 1. With it had the eye tracking, and for the controllers, I had the Valve Index, and I had 3 trackers on me. Obviously, one right there on the hip, and 2 on the leg, and 2 right on the ankle. That's actually how I have full body tracking. All right, here we are. What's this? This is not normal. Nope, that's not normal. Ooh. One other thing I want to go ahead and point out is that when I streamed this, I actually just streamed the game directly to OBS. I did not stream like the inside of the headset. Obviously, it's because I didn't want to show anyone my OBS inside. Bed repairs, night terror. Oh no. What's this? Why is it all with triggers? Oh, candy. Oh, fair enough. I didn't actually know that the game is mostly played with the trigger. I actually did try to grab it with the index controllers. What's this? Nutrition facts. Apparently it's a pirate plunder bar. I do that. What the heck? Alright. I don't know what. Mm. Mm. I'm so scared. Holy. Oh. I've been moving already! You're not supposed to be up early. No. No. I'm not either. I'm just saying. You guys are not gonna lie, I find these games scary. Yeah, I kind of do too. Also, one thing, if you notice how my eyes are closed, that's actually because of how gestures are set up on the, like, when I did like motion capture like this. It's kind of weird. I never really figured that out. But maybe next time when I do VR streams with full body, then yeah. Thanks for Outlast, huh? I actually need to play Outlast. Okay, so you guys are wondering why I panicked like that so early. Look right there. That's basically Bonnie's already active. I don't even know what time it is. What time it is. Oops. Like at all. So I usually don't think he starts this early. As far as I know anyways. not supposed to be up early. No. 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 Why are you? Why? Why are you? No. I can't do this. I really cannot do this. Where'd you go? What? Something is moving. They're moving already. Why? Why? Oh, there you are. At least you're there. Okay. You're there. You're there. You're the. It's kind of weird a little bit because it's like you cannot see the game entirely, but yet here I am. I'm able to see the game entirely because it's not coming out of the headset. This is literally the screen itself, like the game screen itself. You're still there for some reason. Ember, where are you when I needed you? That's Luna, by the way. They're both. Oh. I am begging for mercy. Are you back in your spot? No, you're not. A little side note. Sometimes VR's FOV sometimes feel strange. Yeah, they really do. A little side note. You'll notice that at some point I'm pressing the button and it turns on the light. What I did not know is that I pressed that button and it turns on the light. I was thinking that if I hold the button down, it would not. It will turn on the light, and if I let go, it will not turn. It will turn off the light. No, that does not happen here. So you'll see me lose a lot of power quite often. I can't do this. Where are you? Where are you? Hi! No! Nope! No, thank you! I don't know how I knew that. You can go away now! I am all good where I am, happily and belong. You can stay right over there. I'm keeping this door down. You stay there. Just go away, please. I'm begging you. I'm begging for mercy. Robots don't have a thing for mercy, Lumi. I'm sorry. That's just how it is. So fucking naive. I am begging for mercy. I am begging for mercy. Oh yeah. They're both. Let's get to this part. This part was pretty cool.
To access the throat pipe, both eyes must first be removed. You must be as precise as possible when removing the eyes from their respective sockets. First, firmly grip Bonnie's left eye and carefully remove it from its socket.
Is it my left or his left? I don't know. What do you think?
Great job. Deposit the left eye in the cleaning receptacle on your left. Well done. Now, Firmly grip Bonnie's
My
right
hands
eye
are
and
shaking
carefully
so
remove it from its socket.
My hands are shaking so badly.
Deposit the right eye in the cleaning receptacle on your right.
By the way, I was not lying when I said my hands were shaking. You can actually see it shaking. And remember, I'm using the Vive Pro and the Valve Index controller. So obviously I have base stations in the corners. So it has some pretty strong tracking. Just so you understand, it's not like the inside out tracking. This is literally all very precise tracking. So it does know if my so you do see me shaking.
Good job. To open Bonnie's faceplate, carefully press the two buttons located on either side of Bonnie's jaw. When done correctly, you should hear two small clicks. Well done. You now have access to
That is actually a legit scream. Just so you fucking know. I actually did jump at that.
Bonnie's harmonization module. Press the blinking button inside Bonnie's secondary throat pipe to enter calibration mode. Something is not right. One of those notes is out of tune. You may push the button again to replay the audio check. Press the colored button that corresponds to the incorrect note. Press the blinking button again to verify your work. Great job. Bonnie is in tune and ready for his solo. Let's close him up. Simply replace both eyes in the same order that you removed them, then close up the faceplate, and we'll call it a day.
Okay. Oh god. It's left to your left to his left, and your right to his right. It's not hard, Libby. It's okay. What do I do again? Do I push the little button? Yeah, she pushed the little buttons on the side.
Done. This concludes your parts and services task. See you next time.
Say.
So we had to make sure everything works and nothing catches on. Always nice. And a foxy head. And you'll start seeing some crazy stuff, man. Keep that air flowing. Okay, keep an eye on things, and we'll try to have something new for you.
Pressing the button multiple times is gonna solve shit, Libby.
No new system is without its kinks. You're only the second. In this case, that's your office. So our temporary solution is this. There's a music box over by the prize counter, and it's rigged. But hey, you have light, and even though your flashlight
Hi.
power, the building cannot.
Hi.
Don't worry about the place going dark. Well, I think that's it. You should be golden.
Okay, so when I played this game, I swapped over. I started at FNAF 1. Obviously, I didn't do the second night. At least I don't think I did. There I skipped to. I did parts of service, skipped to 3, then to where we are at now. And yes, I really did my body like that. And yes, I really did the camera to my model like that, where you do see the whole body move.
Check the lights, put on the Freddy head if you need to. Keep the music box wound up. Piece of cake. Have a good night, and I'll talk to
Why? 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 It's an event, Louie. You put the mask on too. Get that off my face! I'm trying to wind the box here. Wait, I want you guys to see that again. I thought that I only know. I didn't really realize it until later. I'm trying to wind the box here. So, obviously, I had my hand on the mask as a precaution. So whenever I do push like the button to turn on the light, that's how I just like immediately flick it to my face. So in a sense, it was like premeditated type shit. But here's the funnier part, and we'll get there. Yes, that is very much me flicking off fucking a toy Bonnie. Which I thought was really funny. Obviously you didn't... Because I have... And mostly because, like, I can keep... Yeah, I should probably end stream too, because it's like, I've been keeping you bastards on too long, so let's go ahead and do that. But that's it for me. We're gonna probably do like an anniversary stream like in like next year. So we'll probably look through more of that later, and I'll explain more later. But for now, that's it for this stream. Thank you all for coming. Thank you all for hearing me yapping, bitch. And I will see you all next Saturday for more Half-Life. Bye!